Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Top 5 ArmA Mods of the Month. This time we will be talking about my picks for the month of March 2019. Let me know in the comments down below if you indeed like this format better than the weekly episodes, since I got the impression that this might be suited better to do this once a month. Before we begin with the top 5, I would like to mention as always that most of the footage you will be seeing was directly recorded from footage from our Looping Real Gaming channel, the Let's Play channel run by me and my friends Ryan and Greg. You can find the link to that channel in the description down below and can find much more ArmA Let's Play videos on there. Also, please check out my recently started gaming review channel where I review games both old and new, and you can even make some requests over there in the comments. You can find a link to that channel and Kanoa Reviews in the description as well, and please subscribe to the review channel if you like what you see. Let's start. For the 5th place, we actually have a mission that is a bit older that I've talked about on multiple occasions but forgot to add in the last video I made. The Warthog Trench Run is one of the most unique missions out there and offers great fun for solo or multiplayer sessions. The mission in and of itself is very simple. A nuke is about to go off in 15 minutes, and you need to head towards the extraction point in time. You do this with your trusty Warthog, and you need to follow a set path that challenges you with crazier and crazier obstacles along the way. Things start out simple with a few jumps or spikes you need to avoid, but eventually, you'll be zigzagging around large pits leading to your doom, or keeping your balance as you need to speed up a ramp without any railings to the sides to prevent you from falling off. This mission is sure to bring a smile on your face and surprise me to find out that there are not more missions like this for ArmA, whereas there are more than enough obstacle courses for games like Minecraft, GTA, and Fortnite. On the 4th place, we find the PMC Compound Clearing by G Sempri, a simple mission but very effective. In this relatively short mission, you are tasked with assaulting a small village that is held by the enemy. They are well fortified behind sandbags, in and on top of buildings, and also have a few patrols at the border to alert them in case they are attacked. Though of course we have seen many missions where the objective is to attack a compound or village, the execution is what matters most. Not too long ago, we at the Looping Real Gaming tackled a mission called Hotel Serrani, and you were tasked with assaulting a hotel. Though the mission objective was simple and the premise was cool, we were plagued constantly by enemy AI sticking their guns through the wall and firing and killing us while we were unable to hit them. It's more the fault of the glitchy ArmA engine and physics, but it is something that unfortunately mission makers will have to take in consideration. And here, that is the case. The enemies that are on top of the houses or inside never have an unfair advantage, and clearing them can be a real blast. You can play the game very well on your own and lead your 9 soldiers to victory. Or come up with a cool flanking game plan if you play multiplayer. You can approach the mission from different directions, giving some room for replay value. All in all, it is not necessarily a mission that stands out as extra special among similar types, but at least I can say that it works very well and you will not get stuck with a lost AI preventing you from completing the area and the mission. On the 3rd place, we find the mission Helljumper, Feet First into Hell by Soul. This is a Halo mission, and believe it or not, there are not that many good Halo missions available on the workshop. There are definitely some gems out there, but one has to really search for them, and that is a real shame since the Operation Trebuchet is such an excellent mod. Helljumper provides a mission that is very well playable by yourself or with friends. It features an awesome presentation with some small custom cutscenes and audio including music, but also voice work from the games themselves. You play as a squad of ODSTs as you head across the city to help additional squads, rescue operatives, and retrieve important data. You are facing the Covenant thanks to the implementation of the elites provided in the First Contact mod. Another addition that has been added is the small plasma rifle mod, which gives the elites the appropriate weaponry. They are very powerful though, and I found myself quickly playing solo when I was with my AI. The enemies often can kill the ODSTs in 1 or 2 hits, and they themselves are rather armored, though are also killed easily by the sniper in the team. The mission does an excellent job of upping the ante, as you face larger and larger squads in different types of circumstances, like a few elites bunkered down near a fortified fountain, or a fortress you need to infiltrate where the elites move freely about. There are some tiny notes of improvement that can be done, as the city itself feels rather empty, and the omission of combat ambience in the background dismantles the illusion that a battle is going on across the entire city. I also hope that the mission in the future will be updated when new Covenant units will be added. It is of course cool to be facing off against the elites, but at a certain point I was rather done with them. Not that there are any other options out there, but variety in enemies can make a mission so much more interesting, as we will see in just a bit. On the second spot, we have the awesome single-player only mission Liberty by Tomahawk. Tomahawk has made many missions that have also seared the Steam Workshop front page, and his latest creation was even recommended during my last top 5 video. The screenshots alone looked very promising, and with a runtime of around 10 to 15 minutes, it promised to be a short mission, but with a lot of details thrown in everywhere. And man, let me tell you, the mission is absolutely awesome. I don't need missions to be an hour or 2 hours long if such a detailed environment and story can be told like in Liberty. In the mission, you find yourself on a big battleship that has fallen under attack from enemy submarines. Other friendly ships in your fleet have already been sunk, and yours is next. Your first objective is to escape and get out alive. The attention and detail that Tomahawk applied to the interior of the ship is amazing, with not only bodies and weapons everywhere, but a lot of objects thrown across the entire room, really making you feel like your ship took a big hit. There are even some enemies to face, and this section really made me reminiscence of the good old days of first-person shooters, to for example ship levels in Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, or even at the end of Crisis. Once you are outside, you get a real good glimpse of the scope, as smart placed triggers have planes and helicopters fly by and attack different targets everywhere. It really makes it feel like a large-scale battle is being fought, except for one minor critique point that the previous Halo mission suffered from as well. Because there's no ambient sound thrown in there, the mission itself feels awfully quiet at times. Though I realize that it is of course cool that every sound you hear in the mission has an actual source, I could not help but feel a bit underwhelmed when everything went still after the helicopters and planes had left. In the final part, you are faced with putting on a diver suit of your own and retrieving documents from one of the sunken ships. We have seen this before in the mission Philadelphia, which I hope this would be somewhat of a spiritual successor of. But one important thing was added to make this stand out even more than that mission, and those are objects floating in the ship. It is such a small detail, but it makes all the difference. These objects are not actually floating, as they have no physics interaction, but Tomahawk made a smart move of flipping, twisting, and turning a lot of small objects around to really make it feel like you are swimming through broken debris. It makes everything feel even more eerie and claustrophobic. An absolute must for any ArmA single-player lover. And finally, we have at the top, as some of you might have already expected, the Alien vs Predator Battleground mission made by Phantom. Phantom had already made quite the name for himself within the ArmA community, but I feel like he raised the bar amongst his own creations with this particular mission. His previous mission, the Aliens Escalation mission, was cool, but sometimes would not work like intended since the aliens would sometimes have trouble navigating or attacking their targets. In this mission, things are different, since one thing stands out here: variety. Not only in the mission objectives, but also, and maybe more importantly, with the enemies. During the lengthy mission, you will be facing off against regular infantry with guns and rifles, xenomorphs that come rushing towards you, and now also the Predators. Awesome hunters that can cloak, use melee, and have deadly shoulder weapons that can insta-kill you. We've had hints of the Predator before with the enemy contact missions, but that was before we actually had an actual Predator model that could move around freely and attack in real time, and that makes all the difference. The part in the jungle where you and your squad are hunting or being hunted by two predators was the absolute highlight. You have to work together and flank the creature, which you can lose so easily out of sight. The climax of the mission is also awesome, as you and your squad take sides in the conflict in the sense that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. A beautiful mission with great build-up, awesome objectives, and just fun gameplay for you and your squad. Annoying bugs or glitches provided by the clunky ArmA engine are also avoided by a super handy teleportation mechanic that can lead you straight to the objective that you left off on. An absolute must-play for anyone owning ArmA 3. And with that, we have come to the end of the top 5 mods of March 2019. I hope again that this format was more to your liking than the weekly episodes were. Though of course I could cover more in that sense, it might not be something that many people would want to tune in for weekly. All in all, I do think I will make another episode for April when that comes around, and don't forget to let me know of any missions or mods that you think deserve to be on the list as well, as I will consider them for the next episode. Anyway guys, thanks so much for the support, and I will see you all next time.